There we go. Hey, y'all, we're going to answer. That's good. We're just going to answer 5 questions, and then I'll get out of your hair, okay? Be good for a little facilitation, though, for some conversation. The first question on here says, I feel like we should all be the children when we answer this for a second. It says, I'm appreciative of my parents for the following. So go back to your parents, and I would like to hear, not an entire story, but at least 1 or 2 things only that you appreciate about your parents.
The memories that they gave my children.
Oh, that's good. The memories they gave your children. That's excellent. The example they're setting by still staying active and engaged. Did I say that right? And fit. So they're making a good example. Ooh, the great relationship that allows you to talk to each other. You may just need to teach the class on that. Everybody had parents. You got to have something good to say about them. The support of your education. Oh. They kept her safe growing up. Taught great values. Oh, these are good.
My mom went blind suddenly when she was about, well, younger than I am. And it was a difficult situation, but it drew us so much closer together that, she came in and lived with us, and I took care of her 24 hours a day, and we just had a relationship that had really been a little distant.
So at that age, y'all's relationship became even better than it was before, due to onset of sudden blindness.
Yeah.
And she came to live with you. Wow. So you're saying no matter what age, there is opportunity for an even better relationship with our parents? Both directions. I bet she really enjoyed it or appreciated it as well. Does everybody in here have some warm things about their parents that they really appreciate, no matter how great they were or even how awful they were? Were there not still some things we're grateful for, incredibly grateful for about them? Supportive. Number 1. Yeah, key. Supportive.
Independence. That's what my mother taught.
Oh, your mom taught you independence? Nice.
My dad.
The skills are things we need to be successful.
Loving.
Values, loving. Okay, sorry, loving should be the number 1 answer. That was great. Some form of loving.
My dad told me, it was, I'm very old. And
She said, I'm very
when I
old.
was a kid, women were, nothing. But he said, my daughters and my sons will be educated together.
That's fantastic. Where did you grow up?
Yeah.
What part of the
And he
country?
said, you can do anything you want.
Her dad said because the educational opportunities and the way women were looked at wherever she was growing up back then, she said, quote, I'm very old. We're
Well, I
not
am.
the same, and her dad was going to treat them the same as her sons and told them as much. So great example. Okay, so my wishes for my children as I age. So let me throw out a few things. My wishes for my children as I age, but I'm going to reverse it on you. I want you to answer from the adult children's side. So you answer for the adult children.
You want us to say what we want.
My wishes for my parents as they age. So no matter what your age is, you have to be the adult child. So you got to empathize and change positions. We're juxtapositioning you. If you're the child looking at your parents, so they're looking at you, and you tell me what your child's wishes are for you. Keep quilting and keep dancing, which is great metaphors for keep living your best life. That's a great example of it. That is actually what I wrote down. I didn't put the quilting, but I want my parents to live their absolute best life that they can.
I would think all children would like that. I know mine would.
I like that. I think she just said, I think most children would like that answer. Would say, is that not true? Now that because if I said it, that was mine wrote down, you said it first, and then she said, raise your hand if you agree, as an adult child for your parents, your goal is for them to live their best life possible. Golly, I didn't quite realize that until we were in this group today. So that, it is all about these hard conversations when they come up. But knowing as the parents that is probably the primary motivation of the children, they just may not be good at understanding it, or they may, sometimes we let our fear speak for us, or the anxiety or frustration, but underneath that is probably a motivation of that's why that 3-hour lecture series when you bring your kids in with you is very helpful. We all get your own table with your own kids. If they're not here, put them on an iPad. We'll put them at the table and Zoom them in.
Let me ask a question. What you do, I'm sort of old too. My children, I have 2 living sons. They both live out of town. And so how do you deal with this kind of a situation with what you're doing? They're not going to come in. They both work. They're not going to be listening on an iPad. How do you deal with what I need to be doing and what I can share with them at some point?
So if we don't have local kids, we can always set some things up one-on-one around their convenient schedule and yours to communicate what's available or how to participate or be as involved as possible or know when to be through you and through the church. I don't want to speak for the kids on their level of involvement or what's the best way for them to be involved when it's time. So we have crisis intervention if you have to go to the hospital, right, or to help navigate things. So we just want to make sure the adult children know all the things that are available for them and how to participate. Okay, that's going to be great. So we'll set up one-on-one though. Okay, if they can't make a lecture series, a workshop. But you still need to come and you'll be doing your half of it. And that'll give you, correct. Understood. Okay.
Situations are different.
I think a lot of us have children in other
Out of town, yeah. Gosh.
and that's the difficult.
So could you repeat that louder for everybody?
I said a number of us have our older children live in other states, or even, a 3-hour drive away. It doesn't matter. We don't see them. You see them maybe twice a year. You talk to them on the phone.
The vast majority of us do not have children close by. The vast majority. Part of the reason for this ministry is to help fill that gap, because just the way our culture is, we're all moving to other states and having to work in other places, and so our local family, it's not as tight as it was 30 or 40 years ago or 100 years ago. So this ministry also, you'll see over time, is to help us and help each other age successfully together. Even if the kids aren't going to be close by or available, there's additional resources to help layer that. Great point. But there are ways for them to learn to help and support even from a distance. We do not want to take anything away scripturally. First responsibility of the parents falls to who? First responsibility, God-given first response. That was nice. That was good. She said yourself. That's great. Second responsibility scripturally falls to who for parents? Come on, parents. Say it with me. The children. You're like, oh, gosh. You not letting them help. What does that mean? You not helping them to get involved. What are you doing? Scripturally, what would you be doing? You're denying. And I don't want to preach from this. You do not want me preaching. God does not want me preaching. But we are denying them the opportunity, the God-given right and responsibility to help. Just remember that. that's very good for our children to help us as we age.
It's our way to, in a sense, it's our way to help them learn more about their value system. To teach them a value system.
Amen.
If they aren't helping us, if we haven't taught them that already.
That's a great point. That's a great point. It is continues to teach a value system by letting them help and be involved. Okay, just also remember you're setting an example for them. They're still falling behind us to age. We're setting an example. So if we're stubborn, belligerent, denial, we're setting that example for them. It's okay, guys. Our bodies are going to wear out. We're not always going to be the top of the food chain, etc. It changes over time. It does. Let's lead by example. Okay, if I need help and I'm likely to fail, but I'm not capable of understanding I need help, would I want my children to step in? Let me see a show of hands. Okay. Just remember, y'all, especially for that 3-hour conference, we're all in agreement on a lot of these topics. Some of the barriers are just not us getting together and communicating effectively or understanding each other's side or what it looks like to partner. I have one last one, which is a little bit weird, but I had a daughter who told me, Mom said, don't ever put me in a nursing home, which back then could have meant anything but in an institution, okay? And that was 30 years ago. This daughter, who's on the edge of divorce, who is at wit's end, because it's rough living with somebody with dementia. If you haven't had that experience, you don't want it. She's taken her in her home. It's destroyed relationships with her kids, with her husband, with her job, because she kept holding on in her head, she was going to hold on to that promise to her mom. Let me ask you this. If you, right now, knew that you were going to destroy your daughter's life because of things out of your control, but with the dementia, that if you were in a memory care unit, which was safer for you, which would have more stimulation, and less stress on your children, would you make your daughter promise you that? No. I see that all the time, y'all. The children holding on to things that aren't accurate. Our parents, that is not what they wanted for us. But if we don't communicate what it is we really want and partner and understand each other's goals or values, it's really kind of weird when I have so many loving parents that want to look out for their kids and so many kids that want to look out for their parents, and yet we never even get together to figure this out.
I was going to say, I had a rare instance with my mother. She had her grandmother lived with her for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, I never want you to have me with teeth. She said, I will never put anyone
Through that.
And when it came time, she said, let's go look at places.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought, thank you. Not that.
Amen.
Cry, but, and then she, we had to make an appointment to get together with her because she had so many things on her schedule.
Y'all, we are all going to be going through these challenges. Let's figure out how to, as best we can, get with our kids and partner together to understand each other's values and goals and how we can help work together for it before all the bad things happen or before the challenges arise, so we can avoid many of them. Okay. All right. Next week, just so y'all know, Dr. Merkels is going to be here. The quadruple board certified geriatrician who's on the co-chair for the Medicare, National Medicare Steering Committee and NQF, National Quality Foundation, to do the benchmark validation studies for all the quality indicators Medicare adopts, whatever that meant. He's really smart and really high placed. He's one of the leading, he has several hundred medical directors around the country. He's a part of our care team. Sometimes I'll just call him if I'm at your house and we're looking at your meds. I'll just call him and we'll go over them together. He's all in for RightCare and for our church. He'll be here next week to discuss managing your medical condition. So all the questions you ever wanted to ask about medications. And if a few of you who have quite a few medications would bring your medication list, We like to throw them up at him for him to, he'll just run through things that you might want to talk to your doctor about. Really neat, okay? And then I think Amber's bringing pizza next week. Is that okay with everybody? Is that right, Amber?
It's lunch, yeah, probably, yes.
Wow, that was unconvincing. You're bringing lunch, okay. All right, so next week should be pretty special with Dr. Merkel's. This lecture topic is really good. So a few of you, please bring, if you've got at least 6 medications, bring a list. No problem. In fact, we're going to have an award for the person with the most medications. We're going to have a first, second, and third place. That's what we're going to do. That's awesome. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great week.